Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple clarifications. First off, this candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, TNGX, very, very nice movement today and a beautiful pattern. And the reason why it's so beautiful is, and let me just draw this line out here first, and let me be very clear, this is not some sort of great discovery on my part or anything like that. In my opinion, a lot of people have drawn that level. And I say that because when a lot of people are watching the same areas and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very, very dynamic movements. So while there is no such thing as a guarantee, is it plausible to think that if the price comes up to this level and breaks up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure because of self-fulfilling prophecies? In my mind, that is certainly a possibility. So if you like to play those breakouts, then I definitely keep an eye on that. As far as a pullback area is concerned, key level to watch from that angle, right down there around $6.80. So keep an eye on that dynamic. But in my opinion, at least, the most interesting part of this is all about that trend line right there. And can the price get a break of that level moving forward? We'll see what happens. Next one here, EBET, penny stock for you penny stock traders out there. And once again, same general idea of what I just talked about. So I'm going to go through it a little quicker as I want to respect your time. But we have this area right there of a trend line, and you got to think that a lot of people have drawn that trend line. So again, not trying to impress you, but you got to think a lot of people have done that, which brings about a lot of eyeballs watching it and brings about, once again, that potential self-fulfilling prophecy dynamic where if the price comes up here and breaks up through it, could that break in and of itself create additional buying pressure? No guarantees, but seems plausible. In terms of levels of support, in this situation, more of a gap close, I think stands out to, at least in my opinion, right down there at 0.032. So if you like to play gap close supports, 0.032 is a potential area for that. But once again, in my opinion, and the most interesting dynamic is all about, can the price curl back upwards, get to that level, and then get the break? We'll see what happens. Next one, TTOO, very nice movement today, and that brings about the first key update, and this update is just based on a foundation rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So now moving forward right there, 32 cents is going to be that ideal level of support, because even if the price comes down there, not saying it will, but if it comes down there and behaves like that, I mean, think about what you still have from the bigger picture point of view. You'd still have a set of lows there, set of lows there, set of lows down there, and if you envision those as stair steps, overall, you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So in my mind, like I said, 32 cents going to be an important level from the support side of things. In terms of levels of resistance, pretty straightforward. Again, I guess we can call it another one of these potential self-fulfilling prophecy lines, because I mean, when you just look at it right here, you got to think that a lot of people have drawn a line very similar to that. So they'll be watching from that angle. And then for you pattern players out there, get that in there real quick for you. So we have our resistance, we have our support, you have the nice upwards move right there. So bull pennant, bull flag, whatever you want to call it, or maybe you don't want to call it any pattern at all. But like I said, from a presentation standpoint, just trying to give as many angles as I can. But overall, for you penny stock players, once again, if you like this sort of price range, and this is definitely one worth keeping an eye on. Next one, RBLX. Relatively popular stock out there, but definitely popular after today was in the headlines, got absolutely crushed. So when you have these sorts of situations where you have a popular stock and it gets crushed, once again, you're just going to have a lot of eyeballs watching it, and that can produce some very worthwhile bounces in the upwards direction. So let's map out a couple of levels here. So we have our area of support right there, trend line. There we go. And then at the same time, we have our resistance trend line right there. So pretty symmetrical downwards channel right there. So for those people that like to play channels, I mean, you come down here, buy the bottom, sell the top, buy the bottom, sell the top, so on and so forth. That remains to be seen, obviously, but, and who knows, maybe you look at these lines and say, Clay, I disagree with those levels. I would never even consider a downwards channel, and that's perfectly fine too. Like I said, my job here is just to give you some things to think about, but I want 100 respect if you're just like, no, Clay, I disagree. Good, that shows that you're thinking for yourself. So like I said, this line here, in my mind, I think stands out the most and is a pretty interesting level. So keep an eye on that. And I'd probably criticize myself for this because I think I'm really trying to fit a square peg through a round hole, but maybe a falling wedge pattern. Maybe I'll make that extra big. Falling wedge pattern being a bullish pattern. But like I said, if I was in the comment section, I might very well be saying, what are you talking about? You're trying way too hard, and I would accept that too. But overall, like I said, these levels stand out to me, but the overall essence of the alert is all based around the fact that relatively popular stock, absolutely destroyed today with a lot of volume. So does that create some sort of dead cat bounce, from which can be very profitable from a trading standpoint? We'll see what happens. Next one here, AMC, and all eyes on that level right there. Purple line, or excuse me, pink line, 200 period moving average. Bounced off it right there. Bounced off it again. And you can see right now, as I speak, the price is right at that level. So the huge question mark moving forward is, can this level hold once again, or is the price going to break down through it? And just to offer up a little bit more context, you can see the last time the price was down in this area right here, it did ultimately do a good job of holding strong, which also points out that even if the price slightly drops below it, that doesn't mean that it's completely game over. But the further the price potentially drops down through that pink line, the more and more bearish things become. But yeah, you better believe that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching that pink line there. If there is any sort of attempted bounce in the upwards direction, main level of resistance going to be right there. That purple line, the 50 period moving average, which is currently right there around 506. But yeah, all eyes on that pink line, 200 period moving average. So let's see if the price can hold above it or not. Real quickly, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live online class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching right there at my site, there's an area right there on the web page that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free online class. Next one here, PLTR. Been tracking this one and will continue to track it because it is one of those very popular stocks. And this trend line here continues to guide us. As I talked about in yesterday's video, yeah, there was a bit of an upwards channel here, but in all actuality, that was a bear flag. And you can see the bear flag ultimately just got continuation to the downside. So overall, same kind of dynamic right here. Sure, the price has bounced up a little bit, both in the grand scheme of things. All you have now is a bear pennant pattern. But as I always need to say, just like if you have a bullish pattern does not mean the price is for sure going to go up. And just like if you have a bearish pattern does not mean for sure the price is going to go down. But like I said, would it catch anybody off guard if this thing all of a sudden put in new lows? I don't think so at all. So I want to squeeze things down here a little bit because we have to go back quite a bit of ways in the chart's history in order to figure out where this next area of support is, which is right here at these lows of $14.60. So you can see right here, going back into that. No, you still can't see. It's behind my ugly mug. There we go. But right there, you can see is where the price found some support. So as I zoom back in here, just keep in mind that that is where that green line is coming from. So still got a ways to go before there, but if it does break down through that bear pennant, then yeah, 1460-ish is where I would potentially see the price going at least, if not even lower than that. But yeah, overall, the bears remain in full control at this point. Next one here, NKLA, and I believe we have ourselves in this situation a true falling wedge pattern, which again is actually a bullish pattern, but let's see. Hopefully I'm not trying to fit a square peg through a round hole, so that would be the support part of the pattern. And then as far as the resistance part is concerned, yes, there we go. That is definitely a downwards angle. So there we go. In this situation, we do have ourselves a falling wedge pattern, which again is a bullish pattern. And just like I was saying, just because it's bullish does not mean that it's going to for sure go upwards. But would it be shocking to see this price get some momentum back to the upside here? Now, does that mean it's going to go up to $4? I'm not making that claim, but at least some sort of tradable breakout to the upside. Yeah, I don't think that would catch anybody off guard. If the price does get the break through the upside, main levels of resistance you're going to want to keep a close eye on. Purple line there, 50 period moving average, and then the pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So watch those dynamics in the event that the price does get the push through the upside. But if you like stocks down below $5, you like falling wedge patterns, here you go. Next one, RIVN. Should have probably put this one right next to RBLX, but same general idea. Is this like a super popular stock? It's not, but it is a stock that you see out there enough to think that a lot of people are probably like, oh wow, RIVN got destroyed today, and might be taking a look at it. And we do have ourselves some good solid sideways action here, with the bottom being right here at $22.30, which brings up a couple of key dynamics here. And as I speak, you can see last 30 minutes, the price is going right back down there. So maybe we'll see if it bounces or not. But point here being is the main question mark I think a lot of people are going to be asking is, okay, do we have ourselves a double bottom pattern? We have bottom one here. Will this be the second bottom right here? No, it may not be, and that's why risk management matters. That's why you got to be able to manage that risk in the event that you're wrong. But to be fair to you, I mean, you could be right, and maybe this thing gets a nice double bottom bounce back to the upside, which from a risk-reward scenario, you could be looking at a very, very solid, situation. But that, of course, assumes that you're going to manage risk and you're going to be disciplined in the trade. So as I speak, check it out. It's basically right there at 22.30. We'll see. Market closes in about 5 minutes. So that'll be the first dynamic is this some sort of double bottom? If it is going to be an attempted double bottom and start to turn itself around, then the main area of resistance to watch very closely going to be that trend line right there, which puts the resistance right there around the $23 mark, give or take a little bit. But yeah, definitely an interesting dynamic, relatively popular stock, big volume, at a potential double bottom situation. So we'll see how it plays out on Thursday. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and rough day here. Very rough last 30 minutes, but to be fair, the overall markets are having a rough 30 minutes. And the first thing I'm going to do here is just adjust this area of support in the downwards direction, which now is it, you know what? Because I still do like that trend line right there. In fact, this trend line here is very, very valid still. There's no doubt about that. Fake little break of it this morning, but the other level that just, I think would make more sense. Again, you are more than welcome to disagree. But I don't know. Do we have ourselves another falling wedge? Or am I just trying to fit a square peg through a round hole? That's always possible too. I'll let you decide. I'll let you decide if you think this is a falling wedge pattern. But that does not take away from the fact of, once again, the price is approaching this level of support, which has proven to be a good solid area. And now it's just a question of, is the price going to respect this lower trend line? If it does, then you could be looking at a very, very nice bounce at minimum up to that trend line right there. If it doesn't, well, then once again, that's why stop losses and risk management matters. So whether or not you want to call this a falling wedge, sort of besides the point, because that's a trend line there, very well defined, and one that, in my opinion, is worth at least watching. And again, if you do get some sort of bounce in the upwards direction, then that red trend line right there will be the main level of resistance. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe that the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. Very popular ETF because it just allows you access to that trade at a much lower price level. But the same thing here as essentially, RBLX, the potential double bottom here. So what I'm going to do is adjust this level down. And you got to think that all sorts of people have noticed this 39.45-ish area is a level of support, with the price, as I speak, once again approaching that level. Granted, the market now closes in less than 1 minute. But as I've said, this has got to be a level that you got to think a lot of people will be watching, and rightfully so. Because you're going to have longs, and they are not being crazy at all, thinking, well, it's bounced from here before. I think it can bounce again. Completely fair. Absolutely fair point. On the flip side, you're going to have shorts thinking, no. I think it's going to be game over. I think the price is headed down here, and it's going to break, cause more panic, and create another tidal wave to the downside. Again, I can see where they're coming from. But the point here is this. As I've said, that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. But the key dynamic here in that scenario is everybody's going to be watching at this level, because it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb at this point. So watch that very closely. If there is any sort of bounce in the upwards direction, then the key level to watch will be that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, which is, you can see already seen, rejected the price down a couple of times. But as of now, that level's kind of far away. So I think the most interesting dynamic is all about that level at support right there. And will it hold, or will it be kind of the floodgates that open up for another round of bearish momentum? So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to do a couple things for me, and that is go out and hit that like button and leave a comment down below. And then also, if you enjoyed the tool and want to learn more about it, you see value in it, then go get signed up for that free class. Be very soon, Thursday, August 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And like I said, if you enjoy these, if you would like for me to continue to make these, hitting the like button, leaving a comment, really go a long way. Communicate to me that you're enjoying. They help out the videos, help out the channel, and I thank you in advance for that. So hit that like button, leave a comment below, go get signed up for that free class. Take care. Have a good one.